pages. Now, one of the things that I do when I'm editing is I keep track in job history, speaking of Case Catalyst now, in job history, the edit time and the tran time, I use those to determine how long it's taken me to edit a job. I'm always trying to find ways to quantify to my client how long something took me. And if I can't do that, and if the software or if whatever tool I'm using kind of ties my hands and doesn't allow me to do that, I'm frustrated, because I have to be able to say, hey, reporter, this is what I faced in this transcript. This is what I dealt with. This is what I experienced. And if I can't say that in a way except it was hard, it took me a long time, I was typing. I mean, what does that even mean? Like, I have to be able to quantify it. So I loved that feature. So that's what I loved about it. Those are my thoughts about, where it's going, how it can be used, how I want the industry to respond to it. And the icing on the cake for me was towards the end of our conversation when we talked about something that was just, my mind was blown, okay? And so that is the quiz. So everybody is familiar with, or should be, with like eHarmony, Match.com, those types of things, right? And so the quiz is a way for, instead of having a preference sheet, which I think is nice, but it's like having a dustpan and no broom. I mean, it's just like, okay, that's nice, but is it really going to address what it needs to address? It's so disjointed. Why? Preference sheets get old. Reporters don't have the time to update and put every single solitary thing that they want in their transcript in it. It could be one that they've borrowed from a friend and they're like, you know what, let's just go with that. The way you like things, yeah, that's the way I like it too. And then they get the transcript back and they're like, this is not, no, this is not what I want. And so so for instance, in my business, we have two types of preference sheets. We have an at-a-glance preference sheet and we have a comprehensive preference sheet. The at-a-glance preference sheet is the basic, like, is that correct? Do you want a semicolon, a period, or a comma? How do you want your dates? Do you want hyphens or dashes, or do you want slashes? How do you want your numbers? Very basic things like that. The comprehensive one, and this is mainly for my Case Catalyst clients, is like a breakdown. Like, it's your format symbols, which index, if you're indexing, what your index codes look like, which letter do you pick when you turn it on and off. For my indexers, you'll know what I mean. Because sometimes Scopus inadvertently delete your format symbols. It's not on purpose. We're not just trying to just go in there and ruin everything. But if you don't have reveal codes open and you don't know your software really well, it's really hard to tell unless a color changes, which sometimes does not happen depending on the format symbol that you use or the color that you have selected for that task, that it's gone and that you're kind of introducing a new problem into the transcript. So our comprehensive preference sheet includes things like that. So I'm saying all that to say that there is a tool that is going to be, in that platform, and it's a quiz. You take a quiz one time and you answer questions. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the quiz might take you maybe 10 to 15 minutes minimum. And then if you want to think on it and like really assess, how do I punctuate that? Or how do I like that done? You're going to select that one time and everyone on the platform is going to do that quiz and you will be matched. Okay. You will be matched to the person who has your same technique, style, and preference. Are you a Morrison's lady? Are you a Margie Wakeman Wells guy? Are you a Greg's? Where do you fall? And the questions that you answer will connect you, much like Match.com or eHarmony, with your perfect fit. Isn't that amazing? Like, that is just amazing, because it removes the ability, and maybe I just tend to be negative, but it takes away from, like, if I'm the scopist, a lot of scopists just like to yes, a reporter to death. Oh yeah, I do that. Yep, I know how to do that. Oh, I like it just that way too. And they may say that they understand it, but duplicating it in the transcript is a totally different scenario. So that's amazing. Also, for the reporter, it makes them think about how they really want their transcript to look. They do it one time. You're not sending a preference sheet that you know you meant to update something into it, weeks ago, and you just didn't. And you're going to have people to pick from that really match your preferences. And so that quiz, I'm sold. That right there is amazing. And I hope to be able to, contribute. So if you have suggestions about questions that you think may need to be on there, send me a private message me, and I'm going to be talking with Lauren in the weeks to come, in the months to come, about, everyone helping to get that vision executed, because it's amazing. And I think it's going to cut at the knees a lot of the issues that we experience, which is, I told them to do it this way, and they said they understood, but they didn't, and now I got it back. And the other great thing, the back end of that, is let's say you don't match so well with someone, you'll be able to see, oh, I use the Oxford comma and they don't. So if they don't use the Oxford comma, it's a quick fix. You're not rifing through a transcript to figure out what did they do that doesn't match how I do it. You can go right in, search that particular nuance, correct it, and send it out. So you'll know exactly where you don't meet in the middle. And I think that's the problem, is like, okay, I can follow your preference sheet. I know what you want, and I'm going to do it. But then the reporter gets it back and they're like, okay, I need to find that thing that is going to look like I didn't do this myself, what that thing is. Well, in a lot of Scopus, I know I can't rattle off the top of my head as we're talking with each other, oh yeah, I don't do this, I don't do that. My process, I can't break down my process of how I edit and the things I choose to do in 5 minutes, or via email, or via a quick messenger, response. So this way, excuse me, this way you're going in on the front end, you're letting everybody know what your preference is in a way that is going to set you up for the future. Let's say you have a really good Scopus, they're not available, and you last minute need to find someone. Oh, another thing that I saw. So you're going to be able to say how many transcripts you have completed within, your time on that website. So a couple weeks back, I did a screenshot or a picture of how many pages I've scoped, right, since I started using Wave apps. And it was a ton. It blew my mind. But this will be able to tell you how many transcripts you've completed here. You'll be able to get reviews. No more chasing reporters around, asking for, can I please have a reference in your spare time? Can you write me up something? I know what I do is I don't even ask anymore. I wait for great text messages. I screenshot it. I take their name out of it and create a new picture, and that's my new reference. And I add it like a badge or something to my LinkedIn or to my Facebook, so people can scroll through and see, oh, okay, she's legitimate. Her clients are happy with her, and she might be somebody I want to try out. So it's just amazing. It's just amazing. So like I said, I'm going to paste the link to join the waitlist in the comment section of this video. Please join the waitlist. It's free. If, you get your feedback and you decide that it's not right for you at that time, at least you are supporting the effort and supporting the traction that this software needs. And you're supporting Lauren and all of her efforts that are just, they're amazing, because it's so rare to find. And for me, and maybe I don't know those people. If they're out there, come find me. But it's so rare to see someone that really truly wants to solve a problem in an authentic way, where it's not like, oh, I want to solve this problem, but you've got your fingers in your ears about what the people that are facing the problem actually think and feel. And, you get the feedback, you get what everybody needs, and it's like, no, we're going to go in a different direction now, but thanks, while I've still, collected your money and collected, everything like that. So I just really appreciate Lauren, and I really, really hope that everybody can get on board and support her in a way that, you know, will help us all, will really solve a lot of the issues that we encounter and let us get back to our job at hand. I would really be interested to see if Scopus proofreaders and reporters did not have all of those software and tools issues that we have, and we had more time to see, wow, I scoped or I edited this many pages this month, here's my profit, here's my, you know, this, I might want this to be my goal for next week. If they would actually had a tool, or actually have a tool, excuse me, that would allow them to be productive, you could know, hey, do I want to stay in this business? Is this not for me? Did I put all this work in, and do I feel like I got compensated properly for what I was doing? You know, those are questions that sometimes we have a really hard time answering unless you're just an expert at creating spreadsheets and an expert at, you know, doing all of that yourself and deciding that way. You know, this way you have a tool that is housing everything you need to do together, and it will let you get back to your business and decide what you need to do. Do I need to pivot? You know, do I need to add a different service? Do I need further training in this area? Do I need to shift some clients around? Do I need to change who my client at? Those are all questions that you can answer, and you can easily see things you never thought about, things you never, you know, even thought to address and brainstorm about in a clean and easy and smooth way.